Welcome to Elimination Sunday here in Oklahoma City. We start the day with 6 teams. Tonight we will get it down to the Final Four for the national semis tomorrow. The Dogs are in the house. Number 7 Washington taking on number 9 seed Stanford. It is win or go home in our all Pac-12 elimination game.
Fear is real. It lurks. It sneaks up. It attacks. Today is no different.
Been a long night, but I'm still fighting.
It is win or go home.
Here's the secret that fighters know. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is the shadow of that great light. Fear allows you to know the truth about who you are.
That's where you wanted it.
This is a freshman pitching to the biggest stage.
Someone's going to lose, but recognize what's real.
Got a hold of that one, back to the wall, and there she goes again.
Only you can decide to make it your best day.
It's a good day coming. It's a good day coming.
Welcome to the NCAA Women's College World Series, presented by Capital One. Doubleheader today from Hall of Fame Stadium. Elimination games for Washington, Stanford, and Tennessee, Oklahoma State. The winner of this one moves on to the semis to face Oklahoma tomorrow. Sooners need to win once. The winner of this game would need to win twice to get into the championship series. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Beth Mullins, along with our Olympic gold medalist, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith. We've got our Hall of Fame reporter, Holly Rowe, down on the field. And we are at that time of this Women's College World Series where you are staring not only just at elimination, but possibly the last game of your career. And both these teams will look to their seniors today.
There's 11 seniors between the two teams as starters between Stanford and Washington. And we talked about nerves on day one. There is so much more emotion because you are aware as a senior that this could be the last game you ever play.
Yeah, an opportunity to play for a national championship. That's why every team is here. That's what their goal is. Win today, you have a chance to make it to the semifinals. You win in those semifinals, you're going to play for that national championship.
And so, of course, both sides will start a freshman in the circle today. Go figure. But let's start out with Stanford. They've got a really good one in the circle. In fact, it's been a lot of pitching and defense all year long.
It has been. That's been the story for the Stanford Cardinal. And you think about Nyjah Kennedy, who's getting the start today, the freshman. And how about the senior in Elena Vodder? The two of them have one of the top ERAs, 3rd in the country. And Nyjah Kennedy by herself has the best ERA. And how about the defense here in Oklahoma City? We've seen the outies, we've seen the infield, the way that they have protected their pitching. That is why Stanford is here, because you look top 10 in Division I. When you look at strikeouts, shutouts, ERA, and that strike to walkout ratio, they know how to get it done.
Yeah, they've also thrown Elena Vodder, so the two of them have been a terrific combo through their first 2 games. On the other side for Washington, Michelle, 4 times in the last decade, the Huskies have played in this game, and all 4 times they've won it to get into the semis. They already know about drama. They're looking to create some more today.
Yeah, they absolutely know about drama because they had a tough time in regionals. In fact, at one point, they had scored just 1 run in 16 innings against McNeese State. Down by a 6 spot, entering the top of the 7th, the Huskies come back and they score 7 runs. Sammy Reynolds, Madison Husky, with the biggest hits of their careers to come back. That 7 spot propels them through regionals into super regionals, and they were outstanding in supers. They hosted the Raging Cajuns. Back-to-back shutouts for the Huskies, punched their ticket here to Oklahoma City, and they have been outstanding. In the series against Stanford, this was a great update between these two teams. Washington actually taking 2 of 3.
Yeah, in fact, that was just a month ago to end the regular season, and they knocked around Nyjah Kennedy a little bit. In fact, Kelly Lynch hit the only home run off of her that anybody has knocked out all year long. For the 4th time, they will square off, one of them into the national semis, one of them starting up the bus and heading for home.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
softball has always had a big connection of sisters who have played the sport through the years, but we have a very special one to tell you about today. Sydney Steele of Stanford is here playing for the Cardinal this season, and she went off with a great home run on Friday night. She had a beautiful hit that went to the left field over the wall, and it was so inspiring, but it is nothing she hasn't seen before, because the last time it happened, she was sitting in the stands as a little girl watching her big sister Haley do it on this very field. She said her sister has inspired her all along the way.
It's absolutely amazing. Watching my sister play college ball, she's my reason why I love softball. I grew up around it. My dream was always to come to the Women's College World Series just like she did one day, and being here my senior year is just absolutely amazing. And her being out in the stands with the same sign I made back 12 years ago is just absolutely amazing, and I couldn't be here without her.
So sister Haley is here in the stands, dressed out in her Stanford stuff with that same sign, cheering on her little sister, Sydney. What a beautiful journey for both those sisters and their family and the larger Stanford softball family.
There she is. She's got the pink cowboy hat on, ready to go. As the Cardinal get set to take on Washington. Stanford will be the home team today. So their defense will be out on the field behind Kennedy, and Sydney Steele will take her spot at third base today. As we check out the starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One for the visitors from Seattle. And the Washington Huskies, they've got a home run hitter of their own in the lineup, Riley Holtorf, batting .429 in the NCAA tournament. She drove in all 3 of their 4 runs in their win over Utah to open up this Women's College World Series. Was all smiles on Friday morning. They also played last night, falling to Florida State 3-1, so a quick turnaround for them to be back out here today. Stanford, they opened up the tournament with a loss to Oklahoma. Nyjah Kennedy did a terrific job in keeping that game close, and then they bounced back to beat Alabama with that steal home run in their second game. How about a closer look at the freshman from Topeka?
Now, Nyjah Kennedy has taken the softball world by fire. Because of her velocity and move in the upper half of the zone, this rise ball is explosive. She can throw it low, she can throw it high, but she also has great ability to expand the zone with the curveball. That last pitch, you can see the way it's rotating. That is a curveball that will just slide away from righties into lefties. How about this? A batting average against of just 0.62 for righties. Nyjah Kennedy, just so competitive.
That ERA, the best in Division I. It's also the best for a freshman in the Pac-12 since Susie Parra led Arizona to the national championship in 1991.
And take a good look at her heat map. This is swing and misses, so this is where she gets hitters to chase out of the zone, but then she can also make them miss in the zone. And so you can see the box of the strike zone, that red area above are hitters actually chasing pitches that are balls. That's a chase rate, unbelievable.
And it's arm side. The biggest thing she needs to do today is against the lefties is she needs to bring that red over to the left side of the plate.
How about the 2 head coaches, Jess? Pretty cool. They are both coaching their alma maters, both played here in the World Series and now coaching here.
Yeah, pretty special for Jessica Allister and Heather Tard. You think back to them and their memories of bringing both of their programs here for the first time. Heather Tard, her 8th Women's College World Series appearance as a head coach back in 2009. Of course, playing here on this field. And for Jessica Allister, she's been a part of all 3 times Stanford has been here in Oklahoma City, twice as a player, now as a coach.
And as Holly referenced, the sisterhood, well, it goes generational as well around the Pac-12, because Heather Tarr's old teammate, Tammy Storseth, who was beside her playing shortstop in Seattle, her daughter, River Mailer, is the starting second baseman today for Stanford. And away we go. The winner into the national semifinals and a date with the 2-time defending champion Oklahoma Sooners. And keep your eye on the radar gun, folks. Be around 70 or above, an awful lot with Kennedy today as she faces the All-American Bailey Klingler in the leadoff. Missed the rise high.
Well, because Nyjah throws with so much velocity, she will throw the ball over the white part of the plate quite a bit. She's got that late sharp movement. One of the reasons why she does not have many walks. I mean, just impressive. 20 walks on the season.
Klingler flails that one out to left, and a base hit will drop in. So she is one of the 3 seniors at the top of the order in a must-win today, or it's the end of the line, and they will try and set the tone as Sammy Reynolds steps in. And Jess, we talked about it. Here is one of the 4 lefties that will be in the lineup today.
Well, you saw from the swing and miss, you know, Nyjah Kennedy, not only up in the zone, not only the velocity, but it is on that same side of the plate. And when you are a hitter, you can definitely split that plate in half. And when it's high velocity for a lefty, the fact that it's away makes it easier to put the ball in play. And you look at the numbers versus lefties and righties, that's why it is a dramatic difference, because you saw the side of the plate that she throws on.
Well, think about it. As left-handed hitters are soft, Jess, right? All you have to do is stick that barrel out. It's a little bit easier on the left side.
Reynolds lays it down, and the punch out at first as Sydney Steele had the coverage. And the sacrifice moves Klingler into scoring position.
Yeah, and it's crazy, that differential, right? 0.62 for righties,
Deep.
224 for lefties, and it's literally just extension of the barrel for the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you have to get a little bit more rotated. You have to get that barrel a little bit quicker to contact. Therefore, you don't have as much time to really see the ball travel. Look for the off speed that Nyjah also throws.
Here's Madison Husky in the 3 spot, the senior from Cerritos, California. So this group of seniors, they started their careers at the Women's College World Series. They will end it right back here. Just a matter of how deep of a run it will be. The dogs are barking early. Kennedy gets a swing and miss.
And that's the pitch. If she can continue to keep that pitch up at the top of the strike zone and get Washington to chase that out of the zone, that's when she's effective and she gets those double-digit strikeouts.
Oh-2. Rises high. You just love the subplots, too, when familiar foes get together. This Washington team handed Kennedy her only loss of the regular season this year.
A lot of onlys.
Yeah.
Only home run she's ever given up.
Yeah.
Watch Madison Husky, and she gets in the box, that back foot on the line, but watch her stay open with the front foot. She keeps that front foot open to make sure she can clear her hips. We're going to continue to talk about where Nyjah Kennedy throws both right-handed and left-handed. It's inside, so arm side to right-handed batters, coming in on the hands. Why she does such a great job of getting the swing and miss. And so Madison Husky right now, not even to get that front foot closed. She'll keep it open to clear those hips.
1-2 pitch. Got her. 2 down, and the first strikeout for Nyjah. So we talked about that lone home run, and here is that home run hitter stepping in, Kelly Lynch.
This is actually a curveball that gets left over the plate.
Yeah, Kelly Lynch, take it back just a few weeks, too. I mean, this was a ball that was supposed to be on that inside part of the plate, ends up middle. And again, Nyjah Kennedy has count it, 1 home run all season long. It's to this hitter.
It's amazing.
That was a 3-run blast with a couple aboard. That's also the most earned runs that she has given up in a game this year. And that was the last game of the series. In the first game, the Huskies had the most hits off of Kennedy in a game this year. That is including the loss to Oklahoma the other day.
And how about this? They come right back with the curveball.
Yes.
Right? That's the pitch that got hit out against Lynch. First pitch to her, curveball. We're going to challenge the freshman. You're going to throw this pitch on the outer half, and you're going to make it right this time. Boom. Strike on the outer half.
About the same. That's the first pitch. The one you hit out of me.
Here it is again.
And you know Tori Nyberg knew that. Talk to her freshman and say, we're going to face that fear right away.
Absolutely.
Tori was a teammate of Jessica Allister's at Stanford, played here at the World Series in 2001. Their other assistant coach, Jessica Merchant, from Michigan, won a national championship, the very first championship series in 2005.
It's pretty cool. They're a young staff, all players. That relatability, having women you can look up to.
I think the other thing that's outstanding about Nyjah is that you just watch this entire game. You're going to see a lot of 1-2, 0-2 counts. She hammers the zone. She works from ahead. That's why she only has those 20 base on balls on the season. She is not afraid to just pound and attack that strike zone.
She is the National Freshman of the Year this year. And got her. Couple of Ks to end the threat. Klingler left on second.
Nyjah Kennedy showing why she is the National Freshman of the Year. This rise ball at the top of the zone. How about Ali Kaneshiro behind the plate, making sure she catches this for the second strikeout of the inning. Kennedy with so much velocity, rise ball for the second strikeout of the inning.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series and our Elimination Sunday as we check out the starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. And this is how things look for the home team today, the 9-seed Stanford Cardinal. There is the home run swing of Sydney Steele the other day in a win against Alabama. 6 RBI in this NCAA tournament. She only had 8 in her 37 games prior, so she is hot at the right time. We anticipate runs will be at a premium today, as both teams really have relied on their pitching and defense to get them here. And there is the freshman Ruby Malin from Omaha, Nebraska, who will get the call. 18-6, her third appearance here at the Women's College World Series. First pitch to Taylor Gindelsberger, fouled off. Ruby was one of the National High School Players of the Year coming out of Nebraska. All Pac-12 performer and a power pitcher. We talked about all the seniors. They love the freshman exuberance. There have been 4 freshmen that have made major contributions this year as well. Gindelsberger hammers one to second, backhanded by Klingler, one down.
Ruby Malin, one of those great freshmen, battling in the circle. And one of the reasons that she is so successful, she's got an outstanding drop ball. She'll throw in the low 70s. Look at the way that she's going to get great rotation on it. This is a curveball, so she can go up with the rise, down with the drop ball, a curveball to really expand the zone. But the majority of her swing and miss as well, just like Nyjah Kennedy, is going to be in the upper half of the zone on that arm side. So look for her to try to expand that zone upward, but also a changeup and a curveball on the outer half of the plate as well.
Emily Young pops it up to short. Riley Holtorf, and quickly there are 2 down for Ruby, who is 2-1 so far in her 5 starts in this NCAA tournament.
Efficient so far, 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Now batting catcher for Ali Kaneshiro.
And here is Ali Kaneshiro, the catcher. Out of Santa Clarita, California, 0 for 5 so far here at this Women's College World Series.
Rare changeup too from Ruby. I feel like this, as a freshman, is that development pitch. That pitch, if she can get that one going consistently, how hard she throws up and down in the zone. That was a nice look at it there.
That's a foul ball. The Stanford Cardinal side a 9 seed this year in the tournament. They were home to beat Florida in the regionals, then hit the road to beat Duke in the supers. It's been a progression for this senior class. They have been in the tournament all 4 years, and they've taken a step deeper all 4 years to finally reach the World Series. And Malin gets the strikeout and a 1-2-3 inning.
Well, the freshman showing that they can get it done. Ruby Malin with just 6 pitches on the inning. A ground ball, a fly ball, and of course the strikeout. The rise ball at the top of the zone, explosive. The freshmen are making a statement here on Elimination Sunday.
Nyjah Kennedy has been an absolute star throughout the first part of this season. She is so great. She was named the FCA Freshman of the Year, but she almost wasn't playing college softball. That's because growing up in nearby Topeka, Kansas, she was an incredible basketball star. She was a 4-star recruit. I talked to her dad, Bruce, and he said she was getting recruited by everybody. She could have gone anywhere she wanted. A 2-time state champion, 2-time All-State in basketball. She said, I just felt like softball was something that I was a little bit different in. I could shine on this stage, and she's right. Her outlying ability here at Stanford has been tremendous. But, you know, who knows? Maybe Tara Vanderveer can convince her to walk on when she has a little free time.
Hear that, Tara? Sign her up.
I think they lost a senior or two this year, so there may be a spot.
I don't know. Alistair might have a, Coach Alistair might be like,
seasons overlap. That'd be a tough one.
No jammed fingers. I wanted to play basketball as well, and they're like, no way. You catch one basketball pass the wrong way.
That's right. You were a good hoopster back in the day.
Broken fingers are hard to pitch with.
Yeah. Beth Mowens, Michelle Smith, and Jessica Mendoza up here in the booth with our 3 gold medals. Holly Rowe down on the field with you. The 2 freshmen showed tremendous poise, guys, in that first inning, and set down some of the veterans.
Yeah, I think it helps game 3, too, for them. Settle those nerves.
Absolutely. Yeah, both of them. 21 pitches in the first inning, 17 strikes, just 4 balls.
I like it. Whew. Let's go.
That's old school. 1-1 is high. Tracy Laycock is behind the plate today. Chris Drum at first, Ron Burkhardt at second, Danny Bowman at third, your umpiring crew. And here is Holtorf, the star of their win on a Friday morning, when their opening round game actually got pushed back overnight due to inclement weather here. Kaneshiro runs out of room. This is the 94th meeting, by the way, between these two. The very first time in the postseason. A rivalry over the years dominated by the Huskies. Washington has been coming to the Women's College World Series on a regular basis since they started the program in the early 90s.
A lot of connections, too. John Rittman was assistant coach with Teresa Wilson that started that Washington program. John Rittman now the head coach at Clemson, and he also was first few years at Stanford the head coach. When they first started their program, first Women's College World Series, he coached Jessica Alistair, he coached Heather Tarr.
Yeah, Heather's been around the Washington program for 24 of their 30 years. And I don't know if she or many of us over the years have seen a freshman that has looked this strong. Third straight strikeout for Nyjah.
I love it because it's glove side, and this is her mixing that up. It's a curveball, so she goes. It looks like a rise because it has that extra climb at the back end, but this is what gets the swing and miss. You see that rotation, where it's headed.
That's a pretty pitch. That rotation is outstanding. You know, we talk about Nyjah's velocity, but the way she manipulates the ball, you can just see the way she's getting it off her fingertips. Her rotation, her spin is just very pure.
Talking with Their coaching staff, Tori Nyberg, their pitching coach, they said usually with freshmen, you got to kind of tell them, oh, you know, this hitter's not that great. Like, kind of play it down so that they don't get too nervous, don't get too big. They said it's the opposite with Nyjah. They like to tell her, she wants to know, who are the good hitters? Like, who do you think could possibly get me? And as a freshman, as an 18-year-old, to be that confident. And that's why against OU, they were like, they gave her all the numbers. They said, this is how great they've been. And she could not wait to throw against the best.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, when you're in the circle, you have to be fearless. You have to want the ball. You have to want to pound the zone. And if you're trying to be careful or trying to, you know, steer the ball instead of throw the ball, you're going to be in trouble.
Looking for a 4th straight strikeout here. Oh, Kaneshiro just spun out of her glove.
Nyjah's already celebrating. It's belief, Smitty. Like, when you throw balls down the middle of the plate, you look at her 24 appearance, no earned runs, 1 earned run.
In 6 games.
Yep. And then 2+ against Washington. But this is exactly why she gets the start. She wants the rematch. She believes in herself. She believes in her pitches. I always loved playing behind a pitcher that felt that way, that was going to challenge a hitter. And I'm like, I got you.
Well, and she's the type of pitcher, because she pounds the zone, it's easier to play defense behind her, because you're not up and down for 150 pitches a game. You're up and down for 90 to 100, and you're engaged in every pitch because she does hammer the zone.
Up to 73 miles an hour for Kennedy. Against Silent Rain Espinoza out of Southern California, Alpine, and the Viejas Native American tribe, where she has been a tremendous inspiration. Fouls that one off.
Yeah, it's really cool to see Silent Rain, her social media following, her backstory, her grandfather picking her up on the reservation, taking her to softball tournaments, taking her to practices, making sure that she had the opportunities to play travel ball. It was her great grandfather, Daniel Espinoza, that the softball field on their reservation is named after. There's such a history where she grew up, Native American background with her family in softball.
She had a couple of hits off of Nyjah during the regular season series. Called strike 3, and that's 4 straight for Kennedy, 2 down. That's some pop right there.
Nothing like 73 miles an hour. Looks like Washington guessing a little bit, trying to figure out that rise ball.
When a rise ball is beating you out of the zone and you in your mind are like, I swear that was a strike, you find yourself taking. Like, I'm just going to take because this is what I think is coming. It's such high velocity, you heard it. You can see it on the radiogram, but it was cool to be able to hear it.
I'm actually impressed with how many curveballs she's thrown today. Typically, you know, when you scout Nyjah, it's going to be, you know, rise ball, little change, down in the zone, occasional curve. It's been a little bit more than the occasional curve so far here in the first 2 innings.
Got her. Wow. Strikes out the side, make it 5 in a row. I hope they got a lot of those K t-shirts.
Nyjah Kennedy is on fire. 5 strikeouts, 3 in a row. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Nyjah Kennedy on fire. The freshman of the year, showing why she is the freshman of the year.
Huskies have a lot of seniors on this team, 6 starters, but they have some of the super seniors, and they missed their ceremony for graduating with a master's in intercollegiate athletic leadership. So Madison Huskies, Silent Rain Espinoza, and Megan Vandergriff, also their grad assist Courtney Ogle, they staged a graduation ceremony for them. First they did it on the bus. This one is a little bit better. I love the hat, the tassel pull, all of it. They are all getting their degrees in masters, which is going to be in leadership and athletics, and I hope they all move on to be athletic administrators and athletic directors. I think we need a lot more female athletic directors in this country, so I hope that they make that path part of their graduation.
Well, I feel like they were already magna cum laude in leadership and athletics, helping their team get here to the Women's College World Series.
And just being around them, too, you know they're going to be impact women. I mean, that's what's so cool about getting to interview, be around the athletes is, yes, they're phenomenal. We'll talk their stats, how they hit, pitch, everything. But then you get to know them, and you're like, okay, you're going to make a difference in this world. All right, you got that degree in your hand? Go get them.
Let's see how that manifests itself as the game progresses and we get closer to the finish line for one of these teams. And what was it, 11 seniors, Jess, right, in the starting lineups for these two sides. Some of them playing their final game here today. 0-2 to Kylie Chung. Kylie isn't one of them, just a sophomore from Thousand Oaks. Had a hit in the Oklahoma game on Thursday, batting .286 so far in the postseason. Oklahoma and Florida State are your two teams that are 2-0 so far in this World Series. They are already into the semifinals on opposite sides of the bracket and need just one win tomorrow. Oh, that's some of the members of the Oklahoma staff getting their scouting done. Sooners need to win once. The winner of this one will need to win twice, and that gets underway tomorrow at noon Eastern on ESPN. Florida State awaits the winner of the Oklahoma State-Tennessee elimination game. That is coming up next, 7 Eastern on ESPN2 tonight. And Malin gets a strikeout. Her second in a row, one down.
Ruby Manlin showing that she can do some moving the ball through the zone as well. The thing I like about Ruby is the way that she can manipulate the ball multiple planes as well. That one's going down with a little out, so she's almost got like a curve ball that's got that down to it.
That's pretty good right there.
That's pretty darn good. 11 pitches, 11 strikes.
She needs to throw one at the bull just to keep them
honest.
Just threw her first ball of the game.
Just to keep them honest. There she goes.
As soon as we put a graphic up, that's usually what happens.
Yeah. We have that kind of power up here in the broadcast booth, as America knows.
Control the game.
Emily Schultz, the first baseman. Grad student out of Aurora, Illinois, been in the starting lineup all 5 seasons on the farm. I think this is start number 237 for her in a Cardinal jersey.
It's pretty impressive. She has a sister, Ashley, that played at Northwestern. Brother Noah that got drafted by the White Sox.
And right to Espinoza at third. 2 down.
Now anybody Gordon. Right fielder number 21, Caitlin Lim.
Here's Caitlin Lim, the senior from Irvine, California. Jessica Allister was telling us the story of Caitlin. You see the adjustments she's making in the batter's box. She struggled early, actually was pulled from the lineup, and they adjusted her swing a little bit. She was open to that, whatever it takes. Got back into the lineup.
Watch her feet.
Making contributions.
Her feet.
There she goes.
And that's something that she did. She was flying her front side, and so she was trying to find something to just keep her on the ball. And so this looks like similar to what a slapper would do, but a slapper would actually cross over. She does this to keep her true of being on line. Not only did her batting average go up, but her ability to stay with pitches away from her. ironically, we saw that from Riley Holtorf on the home run that she hit in this World Series. She did the same move, except she just did it like once, not every single time.
Malin, can she retire the first 6 she faces today? Both of these young pitchers, very emotional, very animated out there in the circle.
Oh, you know what they're feeling. Ruby will tell you, too. I mean, she talks a lot. Talks to the dugout, talks to the hitter.
Once you get used to throwing in this environment, it's addictive.
Infield pop-up. So the freshman Malin has retired 6 in a row. The other freshman, Kennedy, has struck out 5 in a row. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and she is slinging it at the Women's College World Series.
Nyjah Kennedy showing why she is one of the best pitchers in the country with that rise ball. Look at the rotation on this, that 6 to 12 rotation at the top of the zone. And then how about the curveball to expand it? Look at the way she comes across her body. The way that ball is spinning, you could just see it's on a dime moving from the outer half off into the river. Nyjah Kennedy, 31 pitches, 16 rise balls, 3 swing and miss, 12 curveballs, 4 swing and miss, really expanding the zone. Just almost a clinic, a pitching clinic out there.
I love
Stanford. Wow.
Like how excited.
All right, so let's see if the move that Heather Tarr made pregame pays off at all. She puts 2 left-handers down at the bottom of the order, and Megan Vandergrift and Brooklyn Carter, who did not have starts in their first 2 games. So Heather, along with assistants Lance Glasso, Kyle Novak, trying something different as they see Kennedy for the 3rd time.
And that's the pitch that the lefties should be looking for, is that outer half of the plate, the arm side that Nyjah is so comfortable with. And look at the reason why. When you're letting that ball travel as a lefty, you're going to shoot it the opposite way. So left-handed hitters against Nyjah Kennedy use the left side of the field. That's why they have a .224 batting average against versus righties that are 0.62.
Bobbled at second, and the speed of Vandergrift to beat it out. Well, when we talk to other coaches that see Kennedy in person, a lot of comparisons, guys, come up to another really good flamethrower, and that's Monica Abbott of Tennessee, the Olympian who starred on these fields. 73 miles an hour, bang. 75 on the gun the other day for Nyjah. Of course, Monica, #1 all-time in strikeouts in NCAA history. We've seen Monica in the stands. Her Lady Vols are back here, and they'll be playing tonight.
I think the thing that was amazing about Monica Abbott's career is just the volume of innings that she threw with that velocity for so long. I mean, her name was penciled in every lineup card.
Yeah. Here's the 1-0 to Brooklyn Carter. Holly?
Well, this is a change for the Washington Huskies. You can see assistant coach Lance Glasso has come into the 3rd base box, and he is putting little hand signals up, down, little hand signals to his batter and his first base coach. They are trying to pick Nyjah Kennedy right now. He is looking so hard into her glove. This is a change. Usually Heather Tarr is in this 3rd base coaching box, just trying to give all the information they can. And their new coach for first base is Kyle Novak. He's got a baseball background, was a terrific player at Oregon State, made it to the College World Series himself. So this is a part of the game. This is all legal, part of the game, but I just think very interesting tactics as Washington trying to pick up all the information they can on the ball out of Kennedy's hand right now.
Yeah, he's not even trying to hide it. He is staring. I'll tell you what, that is your only chance. Yep. So he just signaled rise ball.
So he's looking for a grip.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's a tucked finger or a different way she's holding the ball. And that's why it is important for younger pitchers to start to learn to throw multiple pitches with the same grip.
But this is a twofold. Not only is it picking pitches, he wants her to know.
Yeah.
That's why they're not hiding it. As a freshman pitcher, he understands, can I get in her head? Tell you what, it's one thing to know it's coming, though, and you still have to hit it. Her rise ball, that's why it's important that she can throw it 2 different planes. Because even if you know the rise is coming, one's a strike, one's a ball, which one is she throwing? That you can't pick.
Yeah, it's still about execution. Even when you know it's coming, you still have to figure out a way to hit it.
Brooklyn Carter getting the start in center field today. She's been a pinch runner the first 2 games here at the World Series. The freshman out of Inglewood, California. You may remember her from the Super Regionals for stealing home in one of the Huskies' wins.
You can see different hand signals. That's the rise ball. Then he's going to go sideways for the curveball. So those are the 2 hand signals we've seen him show.
And so then the dugout will yell to the batter, and they might use a, you know.
Sometimes it's numbers, last name, or it could be rise and curve. If they really just want her to know, they might just yell the pitch.
I mean, we used to yell everything from apples to oranges, you know.
You
the apple was the rise, the orange was the curveball, whatever. I mean, just so that.
We did it all the time.
The opponent doesn't always know what you're talking about.
They're just making it a lot more obvious, I think, on purpose.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. That is the 3rd in a row looking after she got 3 straight swinging.
Nyjah continues to throw her game, and this is a pitch on the outer half, a low rise ball, and that's where it's so important for her to be able to throw, as you mentioned, Jess, the rise ball on multiple planes, so down at the knees as well as up at the belt. And this one, she's going to paint the corner with that low rise ball.
If she gets that called, I mean, that's off the plate. It's going to be tough for lefties.
And when we talk about picking pitches, Michelle, trying to see the grip, right, that the pitcher has on the ball, which we're going to try and demonstrate here for you in just a second. As it comes out of her glove, you try and pick it up. This is Bailey Klingler back to the top of the order, but what is he looking for?
Well, a lot of times with a rise ball, most pitchers will go ahead and tuck a knuckle. And when you tuck a knuckle, it is a lot easier to be able to see that index finger is up versus a curveball that might be fingers laid down on the seam. So the difference, rise ball, you know it's coming, curveball. So there's a lot of different ways. I always recommend if that's your rise ball, that should be your curveball. So it doesn't matter what they're seeing. The tuck knuckle, it's either the curve or the rise.
Klingler lines out to Kylie Chung, 2 down. The runner Vandergrift will have to stay at first.
I personally think, I don't think it helps to know it's coming against Nyjah Kennedy. And the reason is I always want to know off speed. Change up, what's hard, what's not. She doesn't throw an off speed, or she does throw an off speed. She hasn't thrown it yet this game. And rise and curve are so similar.
Yeah, she hasn't needed that changeup yet.
Yeah.
And when you don't need it, don't throw it, because those are the ones that accidentally get hit.
Yeah. But if I'm a left-handed batter and I know a rise is coming, it actually messes with me more, because I just want to know, is it the strike one or is it the one I'm going to miss? Because those look the same.
0-1 to Sammy Reynolds. Tried to get on top of it. 0-2. Sammy laid down a sacrifice in the first. They got Bailey Klingler into scoring position, could not get her home. And now the Vandergrift single, their first base runner since. Well, if nothing else, the Huskies are starting to push the pitch count a little bit better than they did the first couple of innings. She may hit 50 here through 3.
Fouling off pitches, making her work a little harder.
Of course, also noteworthy that almost right down the middle, Kennedy and Elena Vaughter have split the innings through the first 2 games. Nice when you've got an All-American that you can bring in. Oh, there's an off speed for you. Little change for strikeout number 7.
All right, I love all this pitching talk, but where are the bats? When you think about Stanford, they're picking up the bats right now. It's been Sydney Steele. She's only had 3 home runs all season long, 2 of them in the tournament, 1 of them here at the Women's College World Series against Alabama. She's picking up 1 to help her offense.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. And how about our Enterprise bracket update for you? Elimination games today. Washington and Stanford scoreless here. Tennessee and Oklahoma State up next. Win or go home. The winner of our game sees Oklahoma in the semis starting tomorrow at noon Eastern. The winner of that second game tonight gets Florida State. The Seminoles and Sooners are in the driver's seat. They are just 1 win away from getting into the championship series. That is best 2 out of 3, and that will start on Wednesday night. Good pitchers duel for the youngsters. Ruby Malin, Nyjah Kennedy. And as we get deeper into the bracket, they continue to pitch the biggest games of their young careers. Kennedy catches her breath. And now it's Ruby's turn to face Sydney Steele, the senior out of Poway, California, who has a home run already in this World Series. Stanford, through its first 2 games, 10 hits and 2 runs scored. Sydney Steele has 4 of those hits and both RBI. They lost 2-0, they won 2-0. Steele couldn't keep up with that one.
Oh, great setup pitch. First pitch, changeup. More like an off-speed, 59 miles an hour, and then comes back up with that rise ball. Starting to see the play.
Yeah, we're already seeing how this one's going to play out.
Yeah, pitch calling.
It's not going to be a lot.
Fouls one off.
It's going to be a close one, and it's going to come down, of course, to defense. And these 2 teams, too, throughout the regular season, 2 of the best defensive teams in the country. Both have struggled here at the Women's College World Series. Last in fielding percentage because they've each had 3 errors. I think that's more just nerves day 1.
Yeah.
But they are amazing when you look at the defense both these teams can put on.
Well, and I think that the first 2 games of the series that they played in the Pac-12 are indicative of really the matchup, right? Stanford beat Washington 2-1 in game 1. Then they won game. Washington won game 2, 1-0. I mean, obviously that's what we're getting here.
Yep.
Runs will be at a premium. And a lot of times in games like this, it really comes down to which pitcher makes the first mistake or which defense makes the first mistake and which offense can capitalize in a situational hitting.
Well, I don't know if it's the adrenaline has slowed down a little bit. Both pitchers, their rhythm is different this inning. Slower than the first 2. Slow roller to short. Holtorf will gobble that up. 1 down. Holly?
Ruby Malin of Washington getting a lot of experience in the circle right now. She is just a freshman, and she grew up in Nebraska. She was on a pretty good travel ball team. The Nebraska Gold won the national championship 2021 under 18. And look who was on the team with her, Jordy Ball, the ace for Oklahoma. Ruby was pretty honest about it. She said, you know, I used to be the ace on that Nebraska team, and Jordy took over, kind of beat her out, but she kept going. She kept competing hard, and she is a great young talent here for Washington, but started her career same spot that Jordy Ball did.
Yeah, she told us it forced her to fight. And as a result, put in the work, got better, continued to improve, to the point where, just like Jordy, she was the Nebraska Player of the Year coming out of high school 1 year later.
Yeah, pride of Nebraska. I mean, those two on the same team. The Kamazin sisters out of Arkansas also played high school ball with Ruby.
Well, Ruby's high school coach, Keith Engelkamp, actually came to the World Series this year. He's in his 70s. He booked his ticket 3 months ago. That's how much belief he had that his young star Ruby was going to get here. I met his wife in the stands before the game. We took a selfie. But I just love all these coaches just loving these young ladies, showing up for them in big moments. And how about the faith of the high school coach to book his ticket 3 months ago?
Love it. We took a selfie, per usual.
Nobody is better at Holly Rowe than dropping the old selfie in there. Name checking herself. I love it. This is Ellie Eck, the junior from Kansas. Well represented from the Midwest with these two lineups. And there's a base knock, finds the left field grass. First hit of the ball game for Stanford and a base runner with 1 out. Well, ESPN Films' latest 30 for 30 is The Luckiest Guy in the World. The 4-part series takes an unprecedented look into the life of NBA Hall of Famer Bill Walton. Episodes 1 and 2 premiere Tuesday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN. The other fascinating thing about Ruby Malin is she is currently holding a conversation with all 5 of her infielders, and I'm not sure if the batter is involved or not.
Well, the batter is.
Yes.
She talks to the batter.
Talking back to her?
I'm going to get you. This one's me. See her look right at the batter's eyes. Had a lot of hitters come and tell me, she talks to me. I've never had a pitcher talk to me right before she's pitching to me.
There's River Mailer in the 9 spot in the lineup. Freshman out of Monroe, Washington. Looking for her first hit of this World Series. Member of both the All-Pac-12 team and the defensive team in her rookie campaign. Swing and miss. The throw down off a 1 hop to second, and in safe is Ellie Eck. And so for the first time, a threat for the Cardinal today.
And this has kind of been the one weakness for Washington is the stolen bases. You see the throw there from Sydney Stewart. Easy dive into second base.
Yeah, only 3 times they have caught a runner stealing in 28 attempts this year. It's there for the taking. And Stanford is taking, and then Ruby comes right back with a strikeout of River. 2 down, and it's to the top of the order.
This is a big get for Ruby Malin. Runner in scoring position, hammers that outer half of the plate and gets Mailer to swing through an elevated pitch, slightly moving away from her.
She got Taylor Gindelsberger to ground out her first time up. And that'll get through, base hit. They will send the runner home. The throw in time to get Eck at home. Brooklyn Carter, the new insert into the starting lineup today out in center field. And they nail the runner at the plate, and we can expect a challenge here from Stanford. Coaches get 2 per game. Ron Burkhardt is the crew chief, and here comes the review.
Look how shallow the outfield was. I mean, honestly, when this ball is being fielded, Jordan Altrin almost in the infield throwing this ball in. It's a close play. Sorry, Brooklyn Carter out in center field. I think they get her. Call's probably going to be upheld. Yeah.
Great throw. Really good position by Sydney Stewart to be in front of the dish. And then that sweep tag, getting it on the leg of Eck.
It's her foot.
No, I think they got her.
Yeah, I think they got her too.
The slide comes to the front of the plate too instead of the back.
I was surprised it was as close as it was. Yeah, they got her. Because Brooklyn Carter was so far in on this.
Well, and Jess, okay, if I'm a runner coming home, I'm doing a slide by and just trying to wipe my hand to the back part of the plate. Make yourself as small as possible.
After review, the runner is out and will be upheld.
So the defensive play for Brooklyn Carter and the tag for Sydney Stewart. And we remain scoreless.
Stewart with the tag. Washington escapes.
Welcome back to NCAA Softball, the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Here with Stanford head coach Jessica Allister. And coach, close play at the plate. Our replay shows she was out. But tell us a little bit about getting some runs, starting to manufacture a few things they're trying to.
Yeah, I think our bats are getting better. I think the first couple innings were a little sped up. And when you have a pitcher on the mound that throws as hard as she does, when you get sped up in this atmosphere, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So I think we're settling in a little bit, getting on time, starting to swing at some good pitches, and stringing together good at-bats.
Nigeri Kennedy, I mean, she is just so great. You started looking at her when she was in 7th and 8th grade playing against 18-year-olds. What did you see then that you know paid off now?
Well, I think anyone that's that age that is challenging themselves against that level of competition has a certain makeup. And I think even when it wasn't great, she was competitive and she kept going after him. And I think you can see that poise and that competitiveness and that desire to go up, you know, against the best players in the country now. And I think it's probably added to her fearlessness in the circle. And it's just really fun to watch her compete.
Awesome. Good eye, coach. Good eye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Holly. And there's her mom, Joanne.
She's rocking.
Those beads and T-shirt look like they've seen in a few days.
Those are the beads that she wore when Jessica Allister played. It was the Lucky Beads in 2004, and that's actually Jessica Allister's practice shirt when she played for Stanford back in 2001 to 2004.
We know it's her practice shirt because her number is still written on the tag of the back of that T-shirt, but I want to shout out Mom for being able to save those items for 20 years.
Oh, come on. That's I mean, softball moms are the best. And I give credit to softball dads too, but I mean, my mom still holds on to every single thing that she got when I played in college, and I just appreciate the parents that obviously come for the players, but how about the parents that continue to come 30, 20 years later when their daughters are coaching their teams?
2001 and 2004, Allister was here playing with Stanford at the World Series, so she has had a hand in all 3 of their trips. And oh, by the way, 2001, 2004, they reached the semifinals on both occasions, and they are trying to get back there again. This is the 11th World Series for Washington, winners of the national championship in 2009. Madison Husky pops that one up. 1 down. The two rooks are showing up and showing out so far.
Oh, I love that. 77% of their pitches are for strikes, hammering the zone, giving up just 3 hits. And you know, it's pace of play. It's efficient.
Yep.
Hitters, when the ball's around the zone, you got to take the bat off your shoulder.
Quick work here. 2 down. Emily Young under it.
One pitch out.
Yeah, Ruby Malin had a 6-pitch inning. Let's see what Nyjah gets here. Is that 2 pitches, 2 outs? 3 pitches, 2 outs.
3 pitches, 2 outs.
She's got 3 to work with. Break the record. Riley Holtorf, 4 pitches. Oh, all right, 4 pitches.
Holtorf has been on fire here at the World Series.
5 pitches needed to record the 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the 4th. Scoreless, and Holly has Heather Tarr on the other side.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series. Here is Washington coach Heather Tarr. And coach, this is really interesting. 5 pitches from Nigeri Kennedy that last half inning. What do you do and say to your hitters right now to kind of draw things out, get better at bats?
Well, it makes it tough because she throws a lot of strikes. So you got to be aggressive, but then again, you have to really kind of work your at bat. So, you know, she's a really good pitcher. She's throwing hard. She's throwing up in the zone. She's tough on righties. So we just got to find a way to get her one time.
Ruby Malin has been good today. Tell us a little bit about how much better she is today than her first couple of appearances here at the World Series.
These experiences are just like layers of people's lives, and we're just looking forward to this experience growing her, growing us, and seeing what we can do today.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
These experiences are layers of people's lives, as Coach just said, and Ruby really maturing before our eyes here in the 4 days of the Women's College World Series. That rise ball at the top of the zone, explosive. The curveball as well, expanding it. And then the drop ball on the outer half to the lefties. One of the things that we've seen Ruby do over the last 3 days is really be better pinpoint with her control, her emotions. Just in a good spot. You can just see it by her energy, her body language, enjoying this pressure-filled moment on Elimination Sunday.
Future of the game's in good hands. These are our freshmen. I mean, come on. It's been so impressive, not just the stuff that you're talking about, Smitty, which is so impressive in itself, but watching Ruby right now, and you see the ball strikes, all of that, but watching her right now, just the attitude, the attack mode, the pace of this. I always feared pitchers that got right back on the rubber and they wanted to throw to you. They didn't take their time. They didn't leave the circle and talk to everybody.
Emily Young.
Well, that's a lot of pitching. It's your pre-pitch routine. It's getting the ball, going right back to work.
And she's talking to everyone around her, but she gets right back in, locks in. She can't wait. You can tell. I can't wait to throw the next one because that confidence is exuding out of both of these pitchers in this game.
Deep breaths. Nice.
Well, and under the tutelage of Heather Tarr and her coaching staff, you think of all the great pitchers they've had over the years. Most recently, Gabby Plain, their national champion ace, Danielle Laurie, from the Eve Gauze to the Jennifer Spediaccis, and all points in between. They get them ready for the big stage. And I think a lot of it starts with the want to, right? As a pitcher in particular, you better want the ball in this moment or it will eat you up.
You are exposed when you are out there, and you cannot be afraid of, you know, all the bad things that potentially can happen. You can't even let that enter your mind. You've got to go out there and just think one pitch at a time. Feel the ball off your fingertips. Focus on your catcher.
Golfed out to left. Sammy Reynolds will give way, and Holtorf has it. One down. This is 2-3-4 in the batting order.
Holtorf, great job going back to, and it's not something that's a highlight reel or a dive, but just the defense, the way they communicate, you can just tell. There's a reason why Ruby Malin loves to pitch. She gets swing and miss, of course, but she trusts the people around her. She trusts those that, when they put the ball in play, she's one of the best shortstops in the game, by the way. Riley Holtorf, remember her name.
She reminds freshman. Just the way she moves, she reminds me of Sis Bates, the way she runs. It's crazy how, you know, Sis, one of the best shortstops ever to play our game for Washington.
Excuse me, underclassmen. She's sophomore, but yeah, she does. Right? I thought it was Sis the first time I saw Washington. I was like, wait a second. She got another year.
Just her body language, even just the way she walks, the way she moves.
Kaneshiro struck out on a rise ball her first time up.
Part of the all-defensive team, one of the best catchers in the country. Smitty always appreciates how good that is, but when you get a hitting catcher as well, hitting in the 3 spot for Stanford.
And she draws the walk. Well, especially, you know, we talk about all the positives of the 2 Stanford pitchers because of their diversity, but that means that the catchers got to do something different every time they go out there, from the rise ball to the drop ball of water. Holly?
Well, guys, how about this nugget from our 643 people? Kaneshiro has a 59% strike rate for pitches received in the shadow zone this season, which leads all catchers who are playing here at the Women's College World Series. And she has to get the heat of one, the up and down of another. She's doing a really good job behind the dish, and you can see her on first base also being a great offensive player.
And the shadow zone that Holly is talking about is basically the fringe of the strike zone. So she's catching those pitches that maybe are borderline strikes and really pulling them back or showing them back to the zone for the umpire to get those strikes.
In college softball, by the way, you can get lifted for a pinch runner and re-enter, so Kaneshiro will do that, but Emily Jones is the runner now at first.
Hey, Sydney Stewart just showed us that behind the plate. Smitty, the shadow zone's a ball on and a ball off. Basically, the pitches that that's what you're there for when you're talking about framing. It's not the ones down the middle. It's not the ones way off you're trying to pull back in.
This is Kylie Chung in foul territory and into the netting.
Yeah, and we've seen the difference that one pitch can make in the complexity of the game, how it can change the order of who's coming up in clutch and big situations. So when you have a catcher that is really able to help you expand the strike zone, it's a game changer for pitchers. That battery, the way that you work together, as good as these pitchers are, the catchers are what's making them really be at this super elite level.
How can they make a little noise here? They've gotten 3 of the last 5 on base, and the chances to score limited today. They're only 3 for 23 with runners on base this World Series, with just the 2 runs scored now in 17 innings.
There's a reason why Jessica Allister sent the runner the last inning. The outfield playing way shallow. She knows. She's recognizing what this game is. Heather Tara would do the same.
This is the group right here, the heart of their order.
Ball.
Winner into the semifinals tomorrow against Oklahoma. Loser, and the season comes to an end. Holly?
So if you're wondering if Kylie Chung's glasses are broken underneath that helmet, that is not the case. Of course, that is the signal that all Stanford alum know is Nerd Nation. You put a little tape on there. It's a cute little thing. See lots of people in the stands wearing those glasses. I know Stanford's Shanae Ogumake, Nneka Ogumake, they kind of got that started back in the day. So Nerd Nation coming in proud right now. But her glasses are not broken. They're just fine.
We're not even sure that there is glass in said glasses. Often that is the case.
Open. Nerd Nation. You own it.
When your parents teach math.
Whoop. Perfect was that. That was so perfect.
That's a Cal fan in disguise right there.
Love it. I love it.
Making the nerds look bad.
They had one GPA over ERA.
Although the ERA was number 1. So
They're figuring it out. They're figuring it out. It's been 20 years.
The letter hogs.
Kylie Chung's glasses are prescription. There is glass in them, Beth. Don't ever doubt me. I went and looked behind her when she was standing at third base, and I could see that there were prescription lenses in there. So I did double check that.
In no way, shape, or form a doubt. That was just proven by finger poking people around town to see if there was glass in those glasses. Not hers in particular.
Watch out if your Beth's going to come at you.
I'm coming for you.
Gonna have a big fingerprint on your glass.
2-2 pitch. Full count.
0-2 to full count. It's been a good at bat from Kylie Chung. Swing and miss early in this one, and Ruby Malin's giving her everything, change up, drop, rise. Kylie back in the box, giving her as much time. It's 9th pitch of the at-bat.
Ground ball to short. Holtorf tries for second, not in time. The speed of Jones got there first. 2 on board with 1 out.
Well, I love that situation too, knowing that you're going to be moving on the pitch. Even just with 1 out, getting Jones in motion, you can see she's running on the pitch. This is deep in the 5-6 hole. Great job of getting to second before the ball does. Holtorf over to Klingler, but just not in time because Jones was running on the pitch.
All right, so the 2nd inning in a row here for Stanford with a runner out at second base. In the last inning, Ellie Eck got thrown out at home by the center fielder, Brooklyn Carter, on a base hit. And the Cardinal come right back at him. A walk and a fielder's choice. You know, we've talked about Stanford with 2 really good pitchers. Heather Tarr also can make a move at some point if need be because they have another really good pitcher in Lindsay Lopez. She's also pitched in their 2 previous games. But now Malin will deal with Emily Schultz, who is 0 for 4 against Ruby this season. All 4 of those strikeouts. As you see the RISP numbers for the Card. Really good last weekend. Not yet here. You guys were talking about the rhythm. It changes when base runners are on with Ruby. There's more consulting with the infielders, more chatter.
I think there's a lot of chatter before the pitch, though, Beth, and there needs to be more chatter and communication when things are happening. I mean, that's where we've seen that breakdown of communication.
And this stuff looks more like encouragement.
Which is fine. I'm all for it. Just continue that when a runner is stealing and you let your shortstop know, so maybe she goes to first base instead of second base.
Hard shot to Klingler, who gloves it to first for 1, and they've got a runner hung up. The tag is applied for the out before the run scores. And now the umpire is looking up at the press box. Was there obstruction at first base on the tag applied, which would mean the base runner would be safe and a run would come in? And there will be a review coming. Let's see what Ron Burkhart has to say. They still haven't announced what they're looking at. It's got to be obstruction at first base. So now we're being told they're just deciding whether to review. It's only supposed to be 30 seconds. And
they're going to review it.
It's only supposed to be 30 seconds.
Stanford is challenging the first runner out on the return to the base player.
So here's the first out, and now with the runner in a pickle, you can't block her path to first base.
This would be Kelly Lynch, the first baseman. I mean, she's blocking her, but
let's check in with our rules analyst, Christy Cornwell.
Yeah, so what they're looking at first base is whether or not the runner had a clear path to the base. And from the angle that we can see, it looks like that fielder was blocking the entire base path. So they should come back with obstruction on this, and then they'll have to decide about the runner crossing the plate.
This is one of those letter of the law type of calls. The rule book says, yeah, that's obstruction, even though she still would have been out by a mile.
Out by a mile. And you're taught in rundowns to actually squeeze, right? Come away from the bag so that you can get them in the pickle.
Well, rundowns especially, you have no idea where you're at on the field. You don't know where the base is. You're just going off of the runner.
That was, by the way, that was Lynch, the first baseman. So after she touches first and makes the throw down, that wasn't like somebody else running in to get into the rundown, correct. I believe. Call on the field was no obstruction, end of the inning.
After review, the runner at first base was obstructed returning. She will be safe at first. However, the runner from third was not halfway or more towards home. She will go back to third base. There should be runners at first and third. There will be 2 outs.
All right, well, let's see the call change. So safe at first, but the run does not score. Well, yeah, I think they got it right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
So
good call.
First and third situation with 2 outs. I mean, really, that's best case scenario for Stanford.
Unfortunately, Sydney Stewart was disrobing because she is due up in the top half of the 5th. She's got to get the gear back on. So the situation here will be first and third for Stanford with 2 outs, and their number 6 hitter, Caitlin Lim, due up. Caitlin popped up to short her first time up. Looking for the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. So Stanford has had a runner thrown out at home and a runner who was not close enough to home and has to go back to third. See if Lim can bring her home.
Well, that's an interesting play because once Schultz was thrown out at first, that means that Chung is no longer, right? That's no longer a forced play, obviously. Going to second, coming back, they have to make the tag. The obstruction is called, so that's always a little bit weird.
That, by the way, was Stanford's 2nd challenge. It is a rule change year. They'll probably consider whether or not if you win a challenge, you get it back. That is not the case right now. So they do not have a challenge for the next inning. Later in the game, the umpires themselves can decide if they want to review something. And the Husky fans are up. A 1-2 pitch coming. Trying to keep this thing scoreless. Drifting foul.
That's interesting, too, is we're seeing Caitlin Lim, we showed that sidestep that she was doing every single game. She's gone away from it right now. I think with the velocity that we've seen from Malin, she's just staying in the box, staying still in the box. At least she did on that last one.
Runner takes second uncontested. So 2 in scoring position for Caitlin. Full count.
Nice take. Lim starts to that and then comes back, working it to full count.
I know it's only the 4th inning, but this just feels like the best opportunity right here to get runs on the board. Sydney Steele on deck. You do not want to walk Lim. She was the home run hitter against Alabama.
Out to left and caught by Sammy Reynolds. 2 left on. Scoreless as the Women's College World Series returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
It's a good day coming. It's a good day coming. It's a good day, sweet like honey. It's a good day coming. Gonna keep on running. Won't stop moving. It's a good day, good day, good day. It's a good day.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Elimination Sunday, the first of our double dip. And there is the breakdown. No runs, just 3 hits for these 2 freshman pitchers. Taking us back to the days of Michelle Smith and Michelle Granger and Debbie Doom. Debbie Doom. All those classic hurlers that spun all those 1-0 games that took 45 minutes to play.
And we're done.
17 strikeouts.
Good luck. Don't bring it back. Don't even bring it back. Stand up there and sit down.
The reason for this lack of hitting, Nyjah Kennedy and Ruby Malin. Just the first year of perhaps 3 more after this of clashes in the Pac-12 and in the postseason.
I am all for it. The game has changed so much where the swing and miss is almost impossible. And you see so much more contact, and the offense has just exploded in the game, which is awesome. But I do love seeing right now the future of the game and these 2 going head to head.
Yeah, and these 2 pitchers are the exception. They're not the rule, right? These are elite level pitchers.
Yes.
And so what you're seeing here is not always what we're getting.
Thank goodness.
Says the hitter.
Right back to Nyjah, reaches for it, 1 down.
Nyjah getting the ground out, but the majority of her strikes outs have been because of her movement. Rise ball at the top of the zone, curve ball to expand the zone away from the righties, but she mixes speeds as well with the off speed of her strikeouts. Look at the way she attacks the zone, the backward Ks in the zone for strikeouts looking. The Ks, the regular Ks out of the zone, in the fringes, those are the ones that she's getting the chase on. So Nyjah Kennedy doing such a great job of mixing speeds, and it always comes back to the 3 S's: spots, spin, and speed.
And it always goes back to Holly Rowe.
I think it goes back to competition and her nature. I talked to her mom, Catherine, before the game. I said, why is your daughter so excellent? She said she wants to be the best at everything she ever does, whether it's academics, chores around the house. She would compete with her brother BJ all the time. And there's just this competitive makeup inside Nyjah Kennedy, and it's anything. Mom said anything she's ever done, she just wants to be better than you.
So she's someone you shouldn't play like a card game with.
Only if you are similarly built,
suited to go at it.
We've had some competitive card games in our days here at the World Series.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch to Sydney Stewart. Doesn't chase.
What I like about this game plan, though, because it's one thing, remember we talked about familiarity. These teams obviously just faced each other a few weeks ago in conference, is the fact that Nyjah Kennedy right now and Tori Nyberg, the plan has been a different side of the plate. We showed the swing and misses early. What Nyjah usually throws arm side, she's going to the curveball so much more.
Wow.
Inside corner, strike 3. That's 4 swinging and 4 looking.
8th strikeout. This one coming back inside with the low rise ball. She had been working and hammering that curveball away from the righties. Look at the way she's just going to paint that inner half. Nyjah giving some love back to Kinoshito behind the plate. The way she's been framing that pitch. Look at that, just 12 balls on the afternoon. 50 strikes out of the 62 pitches she's thrown.
That's what Holly Rowe, when she was talking to Heather Tarr, what she said, she's like, we're trying to make adjustments, but she's coming at us so quick. I mean, not just the fact that she's throwing a ton of strikes, but also the pace. I mean, there isn't this like long time waiting between. She comes right back. 15 first pitch strikes of the 17 batters that she's faced.
Bailey Klingler led off the game with a base hit, and that is the only one given.
Well, and she's been outstanding at really getting ahead. Here it is, another 0-2 count. I believe that's 9 of the 16 hitters. Excuse me, 10 of 17. She has started out 0-2. I mean, when you're a hitter and you're constantly hitting at 0-2,
against her.
Yeah, I mean, you're in protection mode immediately.
Yeah. And foul.
Again, this part of the order where the lefties are inserted just because lefties hit at a 224 clip versus righties at a .062.
Megan Vandergrift trying to get something cooking.
Lone hit for Washington came off her bat.
Ball.
Actually, they scored that in error. They changed it. The lone hit was Klingler. So Megan reached in the 3rd on an error, and that is the only other base runner. Bailey is in the hole with Brooklyn Carter on deck. What are you doing as a hitter, Jess? Okay, I know she's throwing a strike. Well, I don't know particularly where, but I feel like I'm going to have to swing.
As a left-handed batter, the clear plan for Washington, and that's why they put in so many lefties, is she's going to go away. So all you have to do is get barrel there. That's why they're struggling, though, is because she's come inside more than she's gone away to lefties. That curveball, she's pitched more in this game than she has any other start. And that's trying to mix it up, trying to play that chess game. So if I'm a hitter now, 2nd time through, I'm looking middle in, and I'm actually just trying to meet the ball. She brings so much velocity, and the one thing that Nyjah Kennedy has not perfected is a changeup. So you know that you're going to get velocity, something 70 plus, and you can meet that, and that thing will go.
Two. High chop. Young charges. Got her. It's another 1-2-3 affair for Kennedy. As we head to the bottom of the 5th. 0-0. Card at Huskies. That is coming up next. Oklahoma State and Tennessee. They are the epitome of what this World Series roller coaster ride can be. Their first games here, they both scored more runs than they have ever scored at the World Series. Their next game, donuts. Donuts. So both will try and bounce back from a shutout to stay alive later tonight. Kevin Brown, Amanda Scarborough, Courtney Lyle on the call for you. Winner of that one will play Florida State in the semis. The winner of this one will play Oklahoma in the semis. If we ever get a winner in this one, the way these two freshmen are throwing it right now.
Yep.
Not a lot of crooked numbers to speak of. Sydney Steele pops it up. Riley Holtorf one down. Bottom of the order here to face Malin. Hey, the NCAA Women's College World Series Championship Finals begin Wednesday, June 7th at 8 Eastern on ESPN. That is best 2 out of 3. For more information and game times, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Washington, 11th time in the semis. 3rd time ever for Stanford. Noteworthy for the Huskies, they have been to the World Series 4 times in the last 10 years, and each of those 4 trips, they advanced to the semis. 2018, they played for the national championship, lost to Florida State.
That's Allie's dog that they usually bring with them on all the road trips, the actual dog, but could not make it. Bring the stuffed animal version.
Holly?
Well, Sammy the Chihuahua is actually Ali Kanashira's 13-year-old Chihuahua, and Sammy has been struggling this year. The parents have been like hand carrying Sammy to all the games, and Sammy was too ill to travel for this, but they wanted to make sure that Sammy was still here. Do it for Sammy, and I'm told that Sammy is home watching, alive and well, but they wanted to make sure the Chihuahua's in the dugout, the stands have the sign, so Sammy, you are being well thought of here.
Sammy's had a couple of dramatic moments to work through already today. In the 3rd inning, Eliek was thrown out at home plate trying to get a 1-0 lead. And then in the 4th inning, after an obstruction call, it was determined that Ali Kanashiro was not halfway home when the obstruction happened, so she had to go back to 3rd base. They could not get her all the way home either. 2 down with the line out to center.
And one of the interesting things is we haven't seen hard hit balls, but we have seen, you know, balls hit to the outfield, and the outfield has consistently played Stanford shallow. Like normally you see that with slappers, but we talked a lot about Stanford's game. It's not the home run game. It's not a lot of times even the power game. They just get base hits. But Washington has played them perfectly as far as defense, especially in the outfield.
Ella Nadeau will come on to pinch hit here for River Mailer in the 9 spot. Ella 2 for 25 on the season.
As this game goes on, you know, as a hitter paying attention from the dugout, you know that these at-bats, 2nd, 3rd time through the lineup, what pitches are you hunting? And it might just be one pitch that you're looking for. And then when it comes, you cannot miss it. You've got to barrel it up. Can't foul it off, can't watch it.
Sophomore getting a chance here at the World Series. Top of the order will be coming up for Washington in the 6th, and you can almost count the outs on one hand remaining for both these batting orders.
This time it always comes down to execution. I really feel like if one of these teams gets someone on base, you're almost going to have to go to button run, the and runs, just move the defense, something to try to spark something, spark an opportunity, execute.
Full count.
Great at bat.
Off the bench.
Yeah. I mean, she's determined. You can tell. To me, she looks like she's looking for something away. She's been very good at laying off the rise ball inside.
We're also, guys, getting close to the time where both of these coaches so far in the World Series have gone to their bullpens, but there is nobody rustling on either side right now. They are sticking with the frosh. Lopez and Vaughter, not their time just yet. Three-two got her. Strikeout number 4 ends the inning for Ruby Malin.
Ruby Malin, 4 strikeouts in this game. Really been working the outer half to the lefty. This is a low rise ball, really painting the corner. Great late sharp movement, and the freshman pumped for the strikeout.
You want to know what it's like to face Nyjah Kennedy in this game? I'll take you inside the batter's box. How about our up cam, the velocity of the rise ball? I mean, you see the late break, the late movement, and as much as you know it's coming, it is so hard to catch up to. Not only do you hear the pop of the glove, but watch the movement late, whether you're taking a pitch, whether you're swinging at a pitch. This is what it's like to stand in the batter's box against Nyjah Kennedy right now for these Washington Huskies hitters, and it is not a fun place to be.
8 strikeouts through 5 innings as we head to the 6th. Scoreless. Win or go home for Washington and Stanford. The winner plays in the semis against Oklahoma tomorrow at noon, and they will have to beat the Sooners twice to get to the championship series.
I think for Washington, this is a key at bat right here. Brooklyn Carter in the 9-hole. If she can get on base, she's got great wheels, can steal bases, flip over the lineup for Klingler, Reynolds, and Husky coming up in the 1-2-3. To me, this is it. Late in the game, this is what you want.
You got your speed at the plate. Yep. You got your doubles hitter coming up. You got your 3-4 seniors coming up.
But yet again, Nyjah getting ahead 0-2.
They've had 1 runner in scoring position today. That's it, just the 1 hit, only 2 base runners total.
And the runner in scoring position was Bailey Klingler in the first inning. The first she gets on it. Otherwise, it's been crickets.
Bailey, deep breath, hoping she can extend her career. Carter pops it to left. Eck, 1 down.
Yeah, and this is the hitter right here. I mean, Bailey Klingler, Pac-12 Player of the Year last year, one of the best hitters you're going to see out of the West Coast, period. She struggled here in the tournament, but you just look at the numbers of the course of her career, the bats that she has. The only one that's touched grass against Nyjah in this one.
She's got home run power. She rarely strikes out, only 6 times all year, although the one here was questionable on a check swing that was checked, but not called such. On the other side, Nija's only given up 1 home run all year. Klingler, gloved by Young, firing to first, and it gets by Schultz. And there is a Husky base runner.
This is the 3rd error from Emily Young here at the Women's College World Series. Normally one of the best shortstops in the game, and this is a tough play. She takes her to her left. She's got to spin around and get up, but she had the time to make a good throw. I think it's probably a ball that Emily Schultz can dig out as well. And on plays like that, they're not going to be perfect because it's so quick. But you got to make them.
Yeah, those are those defensive plays. You got to make a great play when the game is on the line.
Here's Sammy Reynolds, and that one will get through. Steele could not field it cleanly. 2 base runners with 1 out, and that pushes the go-ahead into scoring position.
This ball hit right at Sydney Steele, and you could just see at the last second it takes a hop that comes up on her. So look at this ball. It's got some interesting spin off of it, and at the last second it just comes up and it hops over her glove. So an E6 and an E5, so the left side of the infield with a couple of errors. You could just see that ball hopping up, getting right over that glove.
Oh, and you remember, too, in the loss on Thursday to Oklahoma, it was a miscue on a Jada Coleman single that ended up being the costly runs in the game. And now Madison Husky in the 3 spot in the lineup. It was Husky who delivered the RBI double in that 7-run 7th inning to beat McNeese State in the region final. It was off of her bat that they survived already once in this tournament. Avery Hobson is the pinch hitter now at second. She talked to us this week about the key to success here, trying to keep each moment the same and not think about the stakes. Easier said than done.
Oh, she was right on that one.
Oh, anytime you see a ball fouled straight back as a pitcher, that is like warning signs, high alert, high alert. Look at the way she's going to foul this ball straight back. That is a just miss. Whoa, right back.
Catch it at home.
Husky in foul territory, and that one will drop. Two infield errors have put 2 aboard. Don't wait too long to turn that video on. One, two. Grounded to Young. Chance for a double play. Over to first. Not in time. So with 2 outs, runners on the corners.
Well, and I think this is where, with Lynch coming up, they have to figure out something, try to make something happen. Husky, put her in motion, try to get her down to second base. And Lynch, barrel it up, put it on the green.
Only one to ever homer off Nyjah Kennedy this year.
In 128 innings. Still bringing it at 72 miles an hour. Struck her out on a rise ball in the first. Kelly popped to short in the fourth.
They've been attacking her at the upper half. The home run she hit was a curveball left over the meaty part of the plate.
Here it is, about a month ago.
Yeah, it was that curveball you just mentioned. You see right over the middle part of the plate. 3-run home run, ended up leading. Nyjah came out after that, leading to a mercy rule of Stanford the last time these two teams face each other.
Yeah, they've been mercied twice all year. Washington at the end of the season, Oklahoma at the start of the season. Two and one. Lynch out to left center. That'll stay in the park. Gindelsberger under it. A couple stranded, so the errors don't do any damage. We remain scoreless. Chances for the Cardinal in a game that remains scoreless. This is Brooklyn Carter off the base hit, rifling it to home, and the tag by Stewart gets Eck. And then this, an out and then a rundown, and they will prevent the runner from scoring from third base, but obstruction is called. However, the runner heading for home was not halfway there, so she does not score on the play. And ultimately, they did not get her home. So similar story to their Oklahoma loss the other day when they had chances to score in 3 innings.
Yep.
There have been a few here tonight again against Washington. So far, unable to get them in. To the bottom of the 6th we go, which means if they can score one here, the Huskies would be down to their final at-bat. The loser of this one eliminated. The winner meets Oklahoma in the national semifinals tomorrow.
Well, no, it was Taylor Gindelsberger who had the base hit to Brooklyn Carter. She's had good at-bats right against Ruby Malin, their best hitter. She's been good in the tournament. Leadoff batter, senior.
Top of the order to face Ruby Malin.
Gindelsberger is all left side too. I mean, you're going to see, look at the outfield. I mean, you've got 2 left fielders and you've got right field played all the way over into that gap. That is a far shift for a non-slapper. This is a hitter. She will not go to the slap at all, but you can tell that that's exactly where she hits the ball. A huge hole, which is funny to say, in center field.
Yeah, straightaway center looks good.
Well, and you know where they're pitching her. It's all outer half of the plate.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, all right here. Huge hole.
Top of the order, this may be the best chance for Stanford to try and win it in regulation.
And it's interesting too watching Stanford's hitters because their hips are going so quick to try to catch up to the speed of Ruby Malin. We're seeing the same with Washington, and then it makes their hands late. So their lower half is triggering, and then their hands, their upper half is late.
Because they're getting long, so they're getting extended.
Gindelsberger has one of their 2 hits, the single in the 3rd. Just 3 hits combined for these 2 clubs against the freshman arms. Cardinal have yet to get a leadoff on base today.
And this is the key for Malin here. 3rd time through the lineup. She starts this at bat out 0-2. Gindelsberger's worked it back to 3-2. And this is the key. Look at this. 1st time through, walk rate. 2nd time through, 7 and 6%. 3rd time through, it elevates to 12% walk rate.
And that could have been ball 4. It's hard to tell. Good job by Taylor Gindelsberger to foul that pitch off. But clearly, yeah, Smitty, everything away so far. Nothing has come inside.
A 10-pitch at-bat here for Gindelsberger.
You have these at-bats. It just feels like, okay, this is it. This is your offensive opportunity. There's nobody on base.
That is Lindsay Lopez, who just walked out of the bullpen from a warm-up. Appears to be ready if called upon. Slow roll to second, charging, and over to first and safe. Gindelsberger is there. Tough play for Klingler to try to get to that.
That is, to me, the hardest play in softball for a second baseman because you have to charge in. It's a slow developing play. So Klingler has to come get this ball and then somehow try to get and make a throw behind her. Look at her. When she gets this, she is in front of second base, so she has to throw back behind her. It's also a hard situation for Kelly Lynch because you know you're getting a BB thrown at you because of the speed of Klingler, Gindelsberger getting down the line.
So Taylor with 2 of their 3 hits. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Jessica Allister of Stanford said that Taylor Gindelsberger is the best base runner she's ever coached. So now that speed, that smart base runner on base right now, late in this game, this feels like a big moment and a perfect person to have on the base path for Stanford. Taylor said she just really started paying attention to the art and science of base running when she was in travel ball, and this is a perfect person for Stanford in this moment.
Young is a decent bunter if they choose that route. 7 sacrifices and 4 bunt singles this year.
She also popped up to a sacrifice bunt against Alabama 2 days ago.
This is all about productive outs right here. Even if you're 0-2, you got to figure out a way to get this ball down. Checks, just something, half swings. So obviously you're not bunting in this situation with 2 strikes, but just some way to get it down to advance your base runner up 60 feet.
A couple of pop-ups to short today for Emily. Runner was in motion, little flare out to center, and Carter will fire back to first. Gindelsberger arrives in time, 1 down. So an unproductive out there.
Well, Taylor's going to be stealing at some point in this at-bat. We've seen base runners in general be very aggressive against Washington. They've only thrown out 3 runners all season.
Gindelsberger has not been thrown out this year, 8 for 8.
She's thrown out 2 and 23 attempts. So even though the sacrifice was not laid down, you know that's in Jessica Allister's back pocket.
Pop to short. 2 down.
Boy, and if you're Stanford, you need to be thinking ball on the ground in this situation.
Well, this is your 2 and 3 hitters as well. I mean,
non-productive outs.
Gindelsberger was going on that pitch. She's gone twice now, both fly outs, had to wheel back to first base.
Stanford now 1 for 6 with a runner on base. Kylie Chung, and the runner goes, and she can take third. Gindelsberger headed that way, and she'll slide in safely.
And Sydney Stewart has had a hard time throwing down to second. Watch her throw the ball early down in the ground. I mean, almost 3 hops. I mean, nowhere near second base. Makes it very difficult to make that play. Taylor Gindelsberger does a good job of getting back up. Almost hits the pitcher, Ruby Malin. That's how far off she was with the throw.
And that's a pitch that's outside. That actually should be easier to throw on.
Boy, and woulda, coulda, shoulda. Stanford would have enjoyed that two batters ago.
Absolutely.
With a fly out to center, they could have had a run in. Still a chance here for Chung.
The story continues to be, too, the amount of fly balls. I mean, we talked about Ruby Malin, how great of a job she's done, but she's also, there's been very minimal ground balls in this game. I think about the last 8 outs. Look, 9 fly balls to the 3 ground outs, and it just makes it easy on your defense.
Two and two. Full count. Go ahead run, 60 feet away. Ripped foul.
Boy, that's the one that they have to let travel just a little bit more. If you're that far out in front on that 3-2 pitch, to me that just says you're over-rotated.
Yep.
Let it travel, let it come deep. Think about shooting it middle oppo.
Well, the one thing Stanford is very comfortable with is playing in close games.
Yes.
That has been their MO all season long. Not a lot of offense, not a lot of runs. Their pitching staff keeps every game very close.
Chung out to left center, and it drops, and Stanford has a 1-0 lead.
How about the at-bat from Kylie Chung? You think about the pitches that she took to be able to get to the count. She was ahead in the count, actually 2-0, got back with 2 strikes. And again, hitting another ball in the air, but enough. This ball down in the zone, she gets down to it, gets it up in the air. And I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Riley Holtorf was gonna get to this. We've seen the best shortstop in the country. Watch her drop step, she goes back, gives her gets in no man's land, finds its way in, and you guys, we have a first run in this game. It goes to Stanford.
Wow, that is inches. You always know a pitcher's duel like this, it comes down to an inch or two to the left or the right, an inch or two above the glove. Nobody happier about that than her pitcher. She comes out of the lineup. Ellie Eck will run at first, and Nyjah Kennedy will have a lead into the 7th inning. And one last at-bat for Washington. Throw down to second. And obstruction called. The base runner will be safe. Eck. Deep breaths in the dugout from Nyjah Kennedy.
Yep. I think she was safe anyway.
Yeah, she was. 0-2 to Schultz.
Ball.
Due up in the 7th for Washington will be their 5, 6, 7 hitters to face Kennedy. Boy, this would be huge if Stanford could get another insurance run. She's lost twice this season. She will take the circle in the 7th to try and beat one of them, so she can come back tomorrow with the Cardinal to try and beat the other one. Oklahoma awaits. And a strikeout for Malin.
Got to run, folks. There is a run on the board in this game, and it's been a pitcher's duel. You see Nyjah Kennedy right there. She knows she's got to go back out, but how about Kylie Chung getting it done for the Cardinal? The emotion, Gittelsburg coming in to score the lone run in this game, and nobody happier than that, than their pitcher, Nyjah Kennedy.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
The Dogs ain't done. Well, we're about to find out. The Dogs have 3 outs left. As we head to the 7th, will one be enough for Stanford? Kylie Chung, the RBI single in the bottom of the 6th. And the Huskies will try and come back for the 17th time this year against Nyjah Kennedy. They have all of 1 hit off of her on the day. And that was the first batter of the game, Belly Klingler. Since then, she has been just on fire. Holtorf, Espinoza, and Stewart due up.
If you want anyone up to bat, though, for the Huskies right now, their best postseason hitter has been this one, Riley Holtorf. We've talked about her big home run in the opener against Utah. You look at her numbers in the tournament, and by the way, they've jumped 200 points.
Well, yeah, coming into today's game, she was 4 for 5. She was hitting 800 in the World Series. And she pops it up. Steele giving chase, can't get there. Kaneshiro lost it off the bat and couldn't pick it up.
She went the other way, couldn't see it. Sydney Steele came in as far as that she could go, trying to call it off, but got hesitant as she got closer. Kaneshiro never had it.
Another opportunity for Holtorf. 0-2 pitch coming. And another pop-up, this time to River Mailer. One down.
Nija's been outstanding. Again, getting up 0-2, inducing the pop-up. How about 75% of her rise balls today for strikes? 95% of her curve balls today for strikes. She has absolutely hammered the strike zone.
She has gotten ahead in counts, guys. 12 of the 23 she has faced have gone 0-2.
That's incredible.
Silent Rain Espinosa is one of those seniors for Washington, like Bailey Klingler and Madison Husky, Sammy Reynolds. A lot of them were here as freshmen and able to return as seniors. They need to put a run up to keep it going.
You can already see that sense right now. Hand on the shoulder, one of your leaders.
Ball.
And it starts to creep in. And Silent Rain knows. You don't want it to. In your mind, you're like, this is just another at bat, it's just another game, it doesn't matter. But your heart knows. Could be. This could be.
Two. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Kennedy. Espinosa gloved at third by Steele. What a play, 2 down. And the Huskies are down to their final out.
That was an amazing play, too. That ball was smoked to her left. And this is what Nija knows of her defense. We saw that falter last inning, actually, that very left side. They're getting her back now.
Another one of the seniors, Jadlyn Alchin, will come on here as the pinch hitter. Caught the corner, 0-1. One more strike. Got her. Ball game, Stanford. And the Cardinal are into the national semifinals to play Oklahoma tomorrow. And the season comes to a close for the Washington Huskies.
Nija Kennedy with 9 strikeouts ends the game with the rise ball. So strong, gave up just 1 hit to the first batter of the game, and then was lights out. Worked around 3 defensive errors to keep the zeros on the board. The shutout for Nija Kennedy.
She did not have a single 3-ball count in the game today. And as a result, that's worthy of a Capital One rewarding performance.
Nyjah Kennedy working the top part of the zone with the rise ball, but she was also really good with the curve ball, expanding it to the outer half, really working around 3 defensive errors. Nyjah Kennedy, not one 3-ball count in the game because she was efficient, effective, throwing that ball through the zone. Just the willpower of Nyjah Kennedy getting it done. The big win for Stanford.
So there you see the first semifinal is set. Oklahoma needs to win once tomorrow. Stanford would have to win a doubleheader. Still to come, Tennessee and Oklahoma State. And Nyjah is on the field with Holly.
Well, Nyjah, the last time you faced Washington this season, it didn't go well. How did you set a determination for yourself that today would be different?
Yeah, I feel like us as a team, we just want to come out and get the win, honestly. Last game didn't go the way we wanted, but we knew we could turn it around and do better this game.
You were so dominant. You were coming right out, throwing strikes. You got ahead in the count with almost every batter. How did your mind really help you get that way and be so aggressive?
Yeah, I feel like all great pitchers try to get ahead, so I feel like that's our mindset, get ahead of the batters and then mess with them.
What is your reaction late into this game and the hits just aren't coming for your team, but finally Kylie gets up and gets that nice hit?
Yes, honestly my mentality was to just keep us in the game. I knew eventually we were going to score. I didn't know how long it would take, but I knew eventually we were going to string some hits together. We had good at-bats the whole game, and finally some hits started falling.
That last inning, you get into the circle and you take this big, deep breath and center yourself to get those last 3 outs. How have you found this routine that is helping you stay strong?
I think it's just calming myself down. This is a huge stadium, a lot of people, so I'm just trying to calm myself down before each pitch, and especially that last inning.
Thank you so much. On to the semifinals. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, the star in the circle. Nyjah Kennedy will hear from the star at the plate in just a moment. 1-0, Stanford a winner over Washington. The rise at the eyes for the final out and the celebration underway. Don't forget, the Women's College World Series continues tonight on ESPN2 with our second elimination game, Tennessee and Oklahoma State. Season comes to a close for the Washington Huskies. And we'll be right back after this.